Let's do it.
Welcome to Press On Podcast, baby. First episode. This is our new college basketball podcast that we are starting. Just two college guys that really like ball. Ready to get into it. I'm with my co-host today.
Yeah, Korben Walling. Excited to get in here. 1 week away from college basketball season. But let's get straight into it. Scrimmage, overreactions, scrimmages, reactions.
There's notes, baby.
There's been some secret scrimmages, but there's also been, some that have been live on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I was at probably the biggest one, number 1 Purdue. Goes into Lexington.
Plays number 9 Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And number 9 Kentucky kind of dominates them. The score didn't really reflect how bad it was. Korben, you were at the game. Kind of break it down for us. What did you see out of Kentucky that you liked? What are some things that Purdue didn't do to win the game?
Yeah, I think it was really what Kentucky did that really bothered Purdue. We were really good defensively. We as in Kentucky, we're Kentucky fans. We can say we. Pope made it an emphasis to pick up full court, and he had, without Jalen Lowe, we had a rotation of point guards. Jasper was playing, Trent Noah started, and we were picking up full court, and it really bothered Braden Smith. And they would get down the court with like 21 seconds on the shot clock, and they had to run their sets with about under 18. Yeah, that's not 100%. Ideal. That's what Pope, I think he wants to emphasize, the pressure, because defense was obviously a downside for Kentucky last year.
Right.
And with this depth that they have, they can go 12, 13 deep, which we haven't seen that.
Yeah, we haven't seen that out of a Kentucky team. Got to use that $22 million budget somehow. And they did.
They seem like they allocated it pretty well, if I had to choose. But, they look good. Kentucky looked great on offense with no Jalen Lowe, starting point guard, no Jaden Quaintance, who will be out for at least a month after the season starts.
I wouldn't bank until December for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if JQ's out until
January.
Yeah, SEC play. January. Yeah, I could see that. But Jasper Johnson was really a spark plug off the bench, and Kentucky looks really good. There's a lot of guys that can score the ball, and that is super encouraging. But on the other side, Purdue, they're going to be just fine. Like, I say Kentucky bothered them, and they did. Yeah. Because Purdue missed a lot of open bunnies. Kaufman Wren was super off. Only person that was on was Fletcher Lawyer, and he can only do so much. Right. But, yeah, both teams will be fine. This is a good step for –
It's basically a true road game for them. I mean, there was – I don't know how many people exactly were there, but over 15,000, I imagine.
Over 22.
Over 22,000 at a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts. That's a true road game. I mean, Kentucky, we don't take anything lightly. No. Everyone knows that.
No.
Like, we treat scrimmages like it's freaking the Final Four.
It's our Super Bowl.
It's our Super Bowl.
Number 1 team coming into town, I had to be there.
Of course, 100%. So Kentucky wins. Jasper Johnson leads scoring with 15. A little lefty jump shot. Looked good for a freshman.
He's got Rob-esque in him.
Rob-esque? Okay, we'll see.
Just calling it out.
Off the bench.
Maybe
Obviously, he's got to step in the shoes of Lowe until he comes back.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about that.
So how did you think Garrison was in the Zoom action? Because he's going to have to play a lot, obviously, with JQ out.
Yeah,
so
Garrison.
That kind of worries me as a Kentucky fan.
Yeah,
obviously,
no doubt.
Him running that.
No doubt. I remember telling my grandpa who I was there, I said, Marino is going to take Garrison's job. And when Jaden Quaintance comes back, Garrison might not have a spot to play. I mean, he's forcing stuff in the Zoom action. He's not as big as he was last year. I noticed how thin he was. And if he's going to get thinner, he's got to stretch the floor. But he can't shoot that well.
100%.
So how is he better? He's not as physical as Marino.
No.
He's not as physical as JQ. I don't know if there's a spot for Garrison in the future.
There might not be a spot for him in the future, but that, I think, it's a testament to just Kentucky's depth and how good they're going to be. And I think Kentucky, we'll see how they go.
Yeah, we'll get into the power rankings later, but they might have jumped for me.
They might have jumped for you.
They might have jumped
over that hump. All right,
we'll see.
Previous national champions, maybe. We'll see. But hey, more scrimmage notes. Michigan and St. John's going to overtime in the Garden. Yeah. Where it was a great game. Obviously, it gave you that kind of like March feel in freaking October, where it was a game where it was back and forth the whole time. Yeah. Obviously, Michigan, their issues are turnovers. So I watched the scrimmage, went over it. Michigan, they're go. They're in transition. They're gonna, as soon as St. John's missed a shot, which they missed a lot of them, they only shot 40% as a team.
That's St. John's.
That's St. John's for you though. Yeah. But they are go. Push the pace. Michigan's gonna go. Elliot Cadeau, transfer from UNC.
Give me your thoughts on Elliot Cadeau. I know you have some strong opinions.
He still turns the ball over like crazy. I don't really understand. You're a junior now, man. Like, you are hyped up as one of the best high school players coming out of the country, and he still has these turnover issues. They're one of the worst passing teams I've seen ever. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the sets they run or if Dusty May just enforces just pass. And they're not getting any good sets. Elliot Cadeau, and he's not really a great shooter. He's capable.
I mean, they rondo him most of the time, which really creates an advantage for the defense because they can sag on drivers like Lindenberg, and they have Mara, the 5, and they have Morez Johnson at Illinois.
That's what I want to get into. Yak Lindenberg, know the name if you don't, UAB transfer. Jeez. He dropped 25 for Michigan, led them basically the entire game. The second half especially, he was like, all right, these guys paid me like $3 million to be here. I got to show them why I'm here.
I could have been a lottery pick, but so he had something to prove.
Yeah. He's definitely a 3-level scorer. Hit a 3 in transition early in the first half. I was like, okay.
Gross.
He only attempted like 2 threes a game last year at UAB. Yeah. Now he's at Michigan. He's like, all right, I can kind of do what I want. I got the freedom. I'm at a big school. If I want to get drafted, I got to play well, and he did.
Yeah.
Kind of willed them in the second half and went into overtime. And then in overtime, kind of a wild game. In overtime, Michigan started on an 8-0 run of their own and kind of set the tone. St. John's looked dead in the water.
Yeah.
And St. John comes out, hits 2 threes, gets fouled, goes to the line, goes on their own little 8-0 run.
Yeah.
And then Michigan, Morez Johnson for Michigan hit a huge go-ahead bucket to the free throw line. Great pass from Elliot Cadeau, by the way.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
And then hits a free throw. Michigan's up 3. And then St. John's, I believe, hits a free throw, go down. And then St. John's, Lefteris Latroupolis, sorry, sophomore from Greece. He played last year on the team, didn't play much.
Yeah.
But good player. He'll see a lot more minutes for Patino this year. Gets fouled on a 3, down 2. He's a shooter, good shooter. Misses 2 of the 3 free throws. Michigan gets the rebound, closes out the game.
Yeah.
They win. Michigan 96-94 in overtime.
If you're going to miss those free throws, it better be in the preseason. I can't imagine what Patino was saying in that locker room.
It's only a scrimmage, but it felt like a March-esque game, which is electric. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. Loved every second of it. But Zuby Ejiofor was awesome for St. John's. As he had 24 on 50% shooting, 12 of 13 from the free throw line. He's going to be huge for the Johnnies. I think he's awesome. But St. John's, their transfers didn't really play well that I expected to. Ian Jackson, 1 for 8.
Yeah.
And Bryce Hopkins was 3 for 11. But I think he moved well coming off ACL surgery.
Yeah.
I think,
he did play 40 minutes. So.
He did play 40 minutes. He was gassed, but I think he played well overall. But it's just going to have to kind of ramp him up.
Yeah.
And I think it's a testament to St. John's defense turning over Michigan 22 times. Maybe, it's a Patino team. I know they're going to press you. They're going to force you into traps.
Yeah. But this is going to be the same thing as last year where St. John's shooting is really what's going to hold them back in March. 100%. We saw this in the Sweet 16 when they couldn't hit a shot versus Arkansas. 100%. He couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah.
Or that was even the round of 32.
Right.
Even worse. And then I'm so glad Zuby came back. I mean, he flirting with the portal, flirting with the draft like R.J. Lewis, but I'm super glad Patino's got him for another year. He's going to be special.
I think Ian Jackson also is kind of going to get into his rhythm.
Yeah.
He's new team, first game in the Garden, basically. I mean, it's a big step up from North Carolina, I think, at this point. And I think Ian Jackson, I think he's going to be good. It's just a testament of, how long is it going to take for this Johnny's team to kind of come back,
Patino's not going to let them be too far off.
they got basically a whole new team. I mean, they lost R.J. Lewis, obviously.
Yeah.
Their top scorer, Kadary Richmond, obviously lost too. So trying to fill those with Bryce and Ian. We'll kind of see how they go about
Overall, I like their portal gets, both teams.
I like both portal gets, 100%.
That's why they're both top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Moving on to the North Carolina BYU game. BYU goes into Chapel Hill, takes on UNC team, a good UNC team, top 25.
100%.
They barely get by.
Yep.
Sorry, the game was in Utah.
In Utah.
Yeah, they barely get by, 78-76. AJ
DeBansa.
Solid, like always.
Good game.
He was really good in Nebraska. Felt like he forced some stuff. It was his first college game, and I felt like he needed to make his name known.
Yeah,
he doesn't 100%. Need to, but he really is so good at getting to the free throw line.
Yeah,
he's got that NBA level. That's how you know he's NBA level. Is he can get to the line.
He's NBA ready.
He gets down into the painted area and gets on 2 feet, no pump fake. I mean, that's what the best players in the NBA do all the time.
Yep, draw those fouls, get to the free throw line. He knows how to get to a spot. It's a level of maturity that he has. He knows that he's like, hey, I'm going to get to this free throw line. I'm going to get my points, and I'm going to show out. And I know he's a homegrown kid. He's getting $6 million from BYU. Like, he knows he's got to show out and play well.
Yeah.
But also, UNC shot 51% from the field, but shot themselves in the foot with 19 turnovers.
Yeah.
Again, these scrimmages, it's early, I get it, and they're trying to figure stuff out, but these good teams are just turning it over so much.
Yeah.
I think it's just maybe it's an early thing, and they're just kind of waiting
100%.
To ramp up.
You're so excited to play, you get so giddy, and next thing you know, you're turning the ball over. You can't even tie your own shoes. But, I mean, UNC, they obviously have a big 3 with Caleb Wilson, the freshman, Henry Vasar, he was a second-half comer last year for Arizona, which was really good. I like that portal get for them because they've had a struggle at the 5 spot the last few years, and they also – picked up, or kept Seth Trimble. Those guys combined had over 55 points, which really was about all the scoring they had. And so those 3 will have to step up big, especially Seth. He's been there a while. We know what we're going to get from him. He needs to make his team his. Yeah,
100%.
All the guys are gone. And RJ Davis is gone. He's in the NBA. Like it's his team. We'll see how he does.
This is definitely a new regime for North Carolina. As obviously a bunch of their seniors are gone, and it's like, okay, now we're kind of getting back into the recruiting realm of going after freshmen, going after portal gets. Like when they've kind of had the same foundation, now they got to branch out. Coach Hubert Davis got to branch out.
Yeah, he's going to be there for, I think he signed like a 7-year extension while he was getting beat by Florida State last year.
Who knows? I mean, if it's like a college football timeline, shoot, he might be out of there in 2 years.
They're going to pay him $50 million to win 13 games.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on these scrimmages about going over like how good everyone played and kind of what happened. But really what stood out to me the most was these freshmen. I mean, these freshmen are absolutely disgusting. And I think this freshman class is going to live up to the hype and be better than the 2018 freshman class, which was the Zion, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Nazir Little, Tyler Hero. That was that class that was like, oh, this is the freshman class. I think Bo Bull was in that class. Romeo Langford was a great player for Indiana.
Oh, yeah. What a pull there.
The top 25 in this class is unbelievable. Darren Peterson, AJ DeBanza, Cam Boozer being the top 3.
Yeah.
That competes with any high school class ever. Yeah, I mean, they are insane. Cam Boozer at 26 and 24, already looking like a National Player of the Year contender. Yeah. And then Darren Peterson at 24 in the first half against Louisville.
Against Louisville. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
In KFC Yum Center, on the road. AJ DeBanza at 18. He's unbelievable. And I think this freshman class is going to live up to the hype.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to live up to 2018, especially what the Duke team did. But I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I mean, Cam Boozer alone looks already better than what Cooper Flagg did at this point. I'm not saying 100%. He's going to be better than him. But at this point, preseason, Cooper Flagg wasn't doing this stuff. He was turning the ball over. He was forcing those turnaround mid-range shots. But Cam Boozer, he can play the 1 through 5. And he can guard the 1 through 5. I mean, Duke's got themselves another freshman, and this team is not as loaded as it was last year with Knipple and man. But Cam can do it.
It's close.
It's close
for sure, especially with Caden Boozer too coming in.
Yeah,
and then some of the returnees like Isaiah Evans, he played amazing.
Yeah,
but some of the freshmen that didn't play as well and still going to be in huge roles, like Nate Ament, shot 5 for 19 for Tennessee.
Yeah,
that's not what you want to see, but obviously it's good to see him shoot these shots in scrimmages and just get comfortable in the gym, basically.
Yeah, Rick Barnes loves having those wings. So, I mean, Dalton Connect and a year before or 2 years before, he loves having those shooting wings, and he loves giving the ball from the point guard to the wings. And they have Gillespie who can distribute and score, but Nate Bent needs to be that guy to score the ball and needs to be the reliable 3-and-D guy.
100%. And Micah Brown also struggled for Louisville, but even if he did struggle, you want him to see him take those shots. He took a ton of threes, settled for a lot of jump shots, which I don't think he should be doing. I think he should play kind of be the more traditional point guard. Go, kind of set the tone for the offense.
Yeah.
You don't have to just jack threes just because you're the 6th-best player in the country.
Yeah.
Kind of settle down, I know there's a lot of hype around him, and, he's playing with $3 million now that Louisville paid him. So, there's a little pressure under him, I think, but I think it's good for him. I think he'll settle down and really take that Louisville offense.
Yeah, I know. He needs to – I agree with you. He needs to take on that point guard role, especially being a point guard and
allegedly.
Yeah, and he needs to settle down. He needs to do a little bit what Darius Acuff did, where he didn't force shots. He got 2 feet in the paint. He was finishing with those floaters. He was taking open threes, but he really tried to force the matter. And if he lets the game come to them, this is Louisville as a whole.
100%.
They were super nervous. They couldn't shoot the ball to save their lives. They were down and out from the beginning to not a mediocre, but not as good Kansas team.
Not as good Kansas team.
Louisville's going to be fine. Mike Howell needs to calm down. We see what he did in the FIBA U19 series. He was incredible. Definitely better than Boozer, which is insane to say. I was coming into this year before this game, and I still might be. I said Mikael Brown is my favorite freshman.
Your favorite freshman in the class.
He is. I don't know after these games, and Peterson and AJ is just they're so bland to talk about because everybody's been talking about it for so long.
And everyone knows how good they are.
Yeah, and it's like you're just beating a dead horse because we know how good they are.
Yeah.
Mikael could be that guy.
We
just need to set him down, settle him down. He'll be just fine.
Some more underrated freshman performances. Caleb Wilson out of UNC had a great game, had a great scrimmage against BYU. I think he finished the game with 22 points, led them in scoring as a freshman, and they need him to step up. With all their guys gone. This is kind of a new North Carolina era with RJ Davis gone, Caleb Love gone, kind of they're all gone. Hubert Davis went out and sought guys out of the portal, went and got more freshmen, and so Caleb Wilson's got to step up, and he did. He delivered 22 points for them, led them in scoring.
Yeah, shot over 50% from 3. I mean, he's really good. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Seth Trimble and him work together in the backcourt because Seth Trimble, he loves the ball.
Yeah,
and that was 100%. A big problem last year because they only had one basketball and they had a lot of guys that wanted it. And we saw that, they barely squeaked into the tournament, which is controversial in itself. But we'll see how Caleb Wilson can distribute. He's got a good center, transfer big from Arizona, Henry Vasar. I like to see them work together in 2-man game. And I think Caleb Wilson's going to be good. He's not going to be as good as these other guys, but that's not a knock on him. That's just the praise for how good the class is.
And then more underrated performances. Malik Thomas for Arkansas was great. He shot, I think, let's go back to my notes here. What he shot, I think he had around.
He had a lot.
Where is it at?
Malik Brown, he 7 for 12, 3 of 6 from 3 with 18 points. So he was even better than Acuff, statistically wise, with more points. But I mean, Arkansas, they're going to be just fine. They're going to start off slow. They're going to end it strong, like Calipari did last year.
Calipari always does.
Calipari's going to have to prove to me that he can win.
And it's going to see who's going to be that lead guard. Is it going to be DJ Wagner? Is it going to be Darius Acuff? Is it going to be Malik Thomas?
Yeah, DJ Wagner is the only thing that's going to stop Acuff from being top of the top.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And if DJ Wagner takes over that lead guard spot, I mean, I don't know. If his jump shot got better over the summer, I hope.
I mean, it's gotten better every year.
We'll see how that works.
But Cal knows his dad, so he has to play him.
Yeah, of course. And then another, I guess, underrated freshman performance, Jasper Johnson, who Kentucky, we didn't really think he was going to play that much. Drops 15 against the number 1 team in the country on his home floor from Lexington.
He was toying with him.
I mean, yeah.
He was toying with him. Sidestep. I mean, he had the nice little up and under. That kid is legit, dude.
Yeah.
His shot looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. It looks janky on camera. I was watching the replays. Like, that is not him. Yeah. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
He's got some Rob-esque in him. He's a microwave scorer. And Kentucky's biggest problem is point guard depth. But I think that riddle's been solved with Jasper.
Yeah. So I think this freshman class is absolutely loaded. I mean, we just talked about 10 guys right there that had stellar performances. And I know it's just scrimmage, might be some overreactions, but
yeah, that's what we're here for.
I love this freshman
And there's
class.
plenty more freshmen that'll pop up and be studs.
So if you're an NBA lottery team, shout out to you because you are loving this.
Shout out to Jazz.
Yeah. Now we're going to go conference by conference, giving our predictions, and we got to start at the best in the South. We're going to go SEC, home of the national champions. We'll start us off here. Florida Gators, projected number 3 team in the country. Obviously, got a whole new backcourt pretty much, but kept a lot of their guys, kept a lot of their core, but still going for back-to-back championships here.
Yeah, I'm super excited and super curious to see how this is going to work. This is a whole new backcourt, like you said, Boogie Flane, Xavier Lee. I'm super excited. I just can't talk about it enough how good this backcourt is going to be.
Yeah.
But that's not even the main thing to talk about. They've got 3 bigs starting.
Yeah. And they're all returning.
And yeah, exactly.
All 3 are returning.
Todd Golden made it an emphasis this offseason that he's going to play the best players no matter positionally, doesn't matter to him.
Yeah,
Thomas Houck is 6'9" at the 3.
Yeah.
You've got Alex Condon 6'11" at the 4 and Ruben Chinyulu 6'10", 6'11" at the center.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. We've never seen that before. And that could cause some problems because I'm a big Zoom guy, and so is everybody now. Todd Golden.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Todd Golden kind of runs Zoom, but he runs a lot of splits and cuts on the wings. But this is going to be
especially
tough.
with his 2 guards. They both handle the ball. They both kind of play in similar roles, so it's going to kind of be weird to see how they kind of work together. Yeah,
and it's going to be weird to see the spacing because they really lived and died off hard cuts and 3-point shooting last year. Without the miraculous 3-point shooting last year of Walter Clayton and Martin and Richard, I mean, they got bailed out. Let's be honest. It is what it is. It is what it is.
And sometimes with threes, that's going to happen. You're going to have your cold nights where you're going to shoot 25% and you'll be like, dang, we lost. We should have won.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have nights where you shoot 40 and you're going to be like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing about them, though, is they can back it up with their defense, which is what you need to do in college basketball. You need to have a little bit of 3, a little bit of D, and you got everything. And they can switch 1 through 5 with this big lineup, which I don't think we've ever said that before.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the 100%. Houston Rockets of college basketball.
Yeah.
But actually, it might work.
It might work.
Because physicality wins. In the NBA, physicality, everybody's physical.
Right.
Unless you're like the Nets. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Throwing shade for no reason. But I'm curious to see how this team is. You even have Micah Hanglod, 7 foot off the bench. You have Olivier Roux, 7'9". I mean,
how much is he gonna play? I don't know if he's still
you could just put him on the court and he'd be effective.
He can just dunk it standing. I know it might take him a year to get down the court, but hey, just stick him down there, right? Get him something. They might play hack-a-shack on him because he's just that tall.
That's true. Yeah, he seems pretty mobile he's not like a Zach Edey mobile where he can
100%.
drop step dunk. But we'll see. We'll see if he gets minutes.
I think the Florida bench is a little unknown right now for Florida, I think, but they got the starting lineup of just this screams national championship back.
It does, and Todd Golden he's that kind of coach where He's super fiery. He's like Dan Hurley, you know. He's super fiery, and he is going to win at will.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see the bench you said is a problem. I'm really excited to see A.J. Brown, the Ohio transfer. He averaged 13 a game last year, and he could bring that shooting that they need. Because Boogie Flan, he was like a 35% 3-point shooter last year. Xavier Lee, he's a great shooter. Obviously, that's why he got paid the big bucks to go to SEC. But he was playing at Princeton. Princeton, the Ivy League. They're not getting the same kind of talent. They might play a Power 5 team, you know, once every blue moon in the regular season. We'll just have to see how he transitions. That's why I think C.J. Ingram, the freshman, the 4-star freshman from Montverde, the guard, and A.J. Brown, they're going to really have to step up, especially in that shooting role.
Yeah, 100%. And Boogie, you know, when he came back off his hand, you know, he couldn't shoot.
No.
So, you know, does that continue? Is it still lingering? I know it was a long time ago, but it still could linger. It still could hurt.
And Arkansas was better without Boogie. Right. Not saying Boogie was bad, but it really gave Wagner and
John Davis. It gave them the freedom.
It gave them that freedom to work.
They need the ball, and Boogie needs the ball. So that's why I'm curious about how him and Xavier Lee are going to work together.
Yeah, and Todd Golden,
both of them need the ball.
Yeah, Todd Golden came out and said that Boogie is the ball handler, and Xavier Lee, he said he doesn't even know how he's going to work with him, but he's got to play off of him. So Boogie is the guy. Xavier Lee just might be that slot guy who cuts well and shoots well.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, do you think these transfer guards can fill the shoes of, you know, last year, basically, Walter Clayton, Will Richard, and Elijah Martin? Do you think they're going to fill the roles? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit in that shooting role and kind of how they're going to work together, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, short answer, no. Okay. National champions, these guys were unbelievable. Elijah Martin's already made the team for the Warriors. I mean, they're incredible. Walter Clayton was incredible. He's already producing for the Jazz. And I mean, it's going to be hard to top that, especially when you have three guys who can shoot elite level, who can jump out of the gym, who could defend 1 through 5, just about. You know, if they hard hedge the bigs. And I don't think these guys have the physicality, but they have the talent.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think they do too. We'll get into our rankings later, but they still are my favorite to win the conference.
Yeah. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, they could have dropped one, but that's not because of their fault. That's because there's a new team in town.
Yeah, we'll check. And there's a new team in town, which we'll kind of hit on. Kentucky, baby. Woo, I'm excited to say the least about this Kentucky team. Preseason number 9. Don't know how true that is anymore after you beat the top dog on your home court.
Means you're number 1, right?
I would think so.
I think the preseason number 9 just resembles what we're chasing after this year.
Hey. There it is.
8 rings going on 9.
Hey,
I mean,
maybe it was a testament to what we're going after. Yeah. But kind of already hit on Kentucky. Obviously, we're Kentucky fans. Could talk about them for days. But
like
obviously,
we do every day.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the $22 million team, though, kind of talk about what do you think their lineup's going to look like? Obviously, JQ's hurt. Jalan's hurt. Yeah. But kind of what do you see as, like, the lineup, the day one lineup? Like, what do you think is going to be the day one lineup?
For Nickel State, starting day one? I think it's going to be – so we saw Trent Noah start, which was – I called it. I told you. I said Trent Noah.
I thought Cam was going to start.
I said Trent. I was super high on Trent, and he shot 75% from 3 throughout the whole summer practices, which is just unheard of.
That's unbelievable. That's Reed Shepherd-esque.
It is, but he looked underwhelming.
Yeah,
he was super scared to shoot, and I know Pope's is going to reiterate in his mind, like, dude, you're out there to shoot the rock.
Right.
Do it.
100%.
And I think he's not going to diminish his confidence by benching him. I think that what we saw in the lineup with Aberney at the 1, Otega at the 2, Otega. Oh my gosh, so good.
If he's shooting no hesitation threes, it's a bad night for the opposing end.
That hitch is not great, but you know. And then Trent Noah at the 3, Diabate and Garrison rounding out the bigs. But this team is not built by the starting 5. It's not. No matter how good they are, and this is why you get $22 million rosters, is because of the ability to allocate them. Yep. I mean, Colin Chandler, you got him to stay. He could start at, I would say, over 70% of Power 4 teams. He's that talented, and he had the best plus minus about 14 last game, which is unheard of. Mark Pope in his post-game presser said he was the MVP of that game. All right. And Cam Williams,
sniper.
Yeah, I've seen stuff where he's going top 10 in NBA mock drafts. He's not
even starting.
He's not even starting. Yeah, this is 2015 Devin Booker-esque, bro. Yeah, all right. Not saying he's as good as Devin Booker, but you know what I'm getting.
Hey, I'm living up to the train. I thought he was going to start for Kentucky, so I get it. Hey, Cam Williams, absolute sniper, transfer from Tulane.
He's got the wingspan of.
I mean, there's been rumors that he's hit 12 in a row in practices. I mean, coach is hyping him up like crazy. That's why I was like, hey, I don't know if he's going to start. Hey, if he's coming off the bench, that's a great sign for us.
And let's talk about Andrija Jelic. Sorry, I didn't just sneeze there.
No, you're good. Yeah.
The Croatian big, he's got, I think, 2 years left eligibility. They were wondering because, you know, the bigs, he's played pro ball, whatever. He's here, And he didn't show up in the box score the other night, but he was a factor. He was not afraid to shoot it. He can rebound the heck out of the ball. Same with Trent Noah. We have some rebounders this year, and that is what we were lacking from last year because Amari Williams, I love him to death, but he could not grab the ball to save his life. Same with Garrison.
He had the worst hands. The worst hands.
Golly.
Yeah,
what a guy, though.
Yeah.
The Weetabix, you know.
Great dude. He could dribble the ball, he could run the zoom action really well, but gosh, his hands were awful.
Goodness gracious. But Jalen Lowe, I think he'll be out for Nicholls State.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he'll be back for Valparaiso because that is the get-right game for Louisville.
Yeah, that's
what I was going to say. And this is Mark Pope's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He wants to beat Pat Kelsey, especially with the skirmishes they've had.
100%.
They were at Taylor Kinney's house and they got in a little altercation. Mark Pope wants to win this game.
Of course he does.
He's gonna have his starting one.
And we know Louisville's thinking the same thing on the other side. They think this is the revival. This is their revival. They're back. They're back. Their point guard they want to beat us so bad. We just got to put our foot down and beat them. It is what it is. We're gonna big brother them just like we always do. Even though we might not do it in football anymore, let's just go back to basketball. Stick to what we're good at.
That's why we're a college basketball podcast.
Yeah, let's just go back to what we're good at. The football team, I'm done. Whatever.
Yeah, John Summerall, you are a Kentucky Wildcat. Anyways, let's talk about Jalen Lowe. He's going to be back. Mm-hmm. Hopefully next week. Pope said that he's going to start ramping up contact this week. Good. He said that last week. Okay. And so he'll be full practices. I think we don't need him versus Nicholls State.
No.
Unless that's
we don't really need him the first 2 years.
Unless that's an Evansville type thing.
I would love to have him against them before Louisville.
Yeah. But little topic of Jaden Quaintance. Thoughts?
From everything I hear, the guy's an absolute monster, just kind of waiting to be unleashed. He's put on 20 pounds. He's grown 2 inches. He can shoot the three. He can run the zoom action. He's projected like top 5 in the NBA draft. And hasn't played yet.
Lower than 6.
He hasn't played yet, and he's projected that high.
I was devastated when he decommitted when Pope Calipari left, and I was like, Arizona State with the Hurley. Come on.
I don't know. Hey, he got out of there.
He got out of there. He got paid.
He knew where home was. Ran to it. Probably paid him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
So do you think that Kentucky's going to have JQ, their starting center, with any of these tough non-con games?
I wouldn't bank on it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bank on it. I think,
even the St. John's game right before Christmas?
I think he might be there for that one.
Okay.
I think if there's one game that he would play, it would be St. John's.
And you throw him right against the fire versus the best big in the nation to be edge 4.
Yep, pretty much.
That's why we got Mo Diabate.
Do I think he'll start? No, I don't think he'll start right away.
Yeah, he can have. He can have that. Remember when? Gosh, what's his name? Guy that went to Aaron Bradshaw. Remember Aaron Bradshaw? He played versus Pennsylvania that one game, and he looked insane. We could have hopefully a get right game when we play
sort of like an Ivasic game against Georgia, where he came in, hit like 4 threes, and was never the same after.
Play a worse team. Hopefully we have a little rot in the schedule there, and 100%. we can get them right. Even if we have them after Christmas, we need to be ready for SEC play.
100%.
And that's when the money's made.
Speaking of these non-con games, let's just go into them. Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, St. John's.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can.
Night.
I know I'm going to get out to the Gonzaga game, but hopefully I can get out to more.
Yeah, 100%.
This non-con schedule is awesome. This is something that Calipari never did. He played in the Vegas Classic and the CBS Sports Classic, and that was
because they were already in them.
Yeah, because he had to
schedule them. Yeah,
exactly. I love Pope's just willingness to take on the task. He's everything that Kentucky fans could ask for.
All right, so we kind of talked about our top 2 teams. Let's go into the rest of the SEC. This is where it starts to get like, okay, some things will change, some things are interchangeable, but we both have Tennessee at 3rd. I love this team.
Yeah,
I love Jacoby Gillespie. He's probably my favorite transfer guy in the whole portal.
I bought a Maryland shirt last year because I love Jacoby Gillespie so much.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's everything you want. Tennessee native too, coming back home.
Yeah, from Greenville, went to Belmont, which was just 20 minutes from where we're from, if that. And I saw him play there. He was excellent. His freshman year, he was awful. His sophomore year, he was just made that jump that the Belmont players do. Yeah. The Belmont players.
See out of your guards.
Yeah, they're so good at developing players. And he goes to Maryland and he steps into that role. Him and Rodney Rice in the backcourt. They were unbelievable. That team was a match made in heaven. I loved every part of that team, and to see him in Tennessee kind of hurts.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of hurts, kind of stings. Yeah. But we can get over ourselves and appreciate good basketball, and that's what Jacoby Gillespie brings.
Yeah, 100%. I loved I forgot what I was going to say. I love Jacoby Gillespie a lot. I think he's going to bring that scoring guard that Tennessee hasn't had. Zakai Ziegler's been there for 4 years, and he's, Zakai Ziegler can't really score. He every year it just seems like he would just chuck up shots. And now that Rick Barnes has his guy, like, okay, I can put the ball in my point guard's hands.
This feels different.
Get a bucket.
This feels different. Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen a true one scoring guard, which you need in March at Tennessee. And I don't know. I mean, Jordan Bone might have been the last one to really score.
Put the ball in his hands, he's going to go get you a bucket. Yeah. I think the last guard they probably had that could really go get you a bucket when you needed it was Jordan Bone. Yeah, and that was
he was the third best player on the team with Grant and Schofield.
I mean, that was pre-COVID. I mean, that's how long ago it was.
Yeah,
everything pre-COVID was like a million years ago.
That was the Sister Jean saga when they lost to them. 100%. Rest in peace.
So yeah, and then at shooting guard we kind of have a little turmoil here. We don't know if it's going to be Bishop Boswell. We don't know if it's going to be.
He started last night, but was not good. I thought it was going to be Amari Abram from Law Tech. He's a senior. He's been across the world when it comes to transfers. He's been to Ole Miss and Georgia Tech, and now he went to Law Tech. He was good there. Played in the CUSA. Saw him play in person a few times last year. He's not great. Yeah, he's a 3-and-D guy. We saw him hit the side of the backboard a few times last night. He can shoot the ball though. Yeah, he can run the floor well. He just needs to be that 3-and-D Vescovi type of player.
And then you kind of have Amari Evans, who's a freshman, top 50 recruit, really athletic, really talented. But Rick Barnes and freshmen,
they don't.
You don't really know how that. You don't really know how it's going to work with Amari Evans. Yeah, especially. I mean, it's weird for Nate or for Rick Barnes to have a top 5 guy in the whole class, Nate Ament, and
that's what NIL does, man.
So it's weird. It's kind of a new regime for Tennessee. They're kind of going maybe at a different outlook. They're like, hey, maybe let's get these younger guys. We've had so many older guys. We're just hitting portal and then going senior. Yeah. And they're kind of went the opposite this year.
I love what Rick Barnes is, even though he's older, he's still willing to change his philosophy and go get freshmen along with good transfer portal guys like Jacoby Gillespie. But this is a guy super underrated, super good.
I know who you're going with.
Jalen Carey.
Yeah, transfer baby.
I wanted Jalen Carey to go to Kentucky so bad, and he's not a Kentucky zoom action type of player, but he is an animal. Yeah, he beat Tennessee at Vandy last year by himself, just about him and backup guard Tyler Tanner, and he is a dog. He is not gonna be flashy. He could hit you 1-3 maybe a game, but he's gonna, if there's a ball on the floor, he's getting it.
He's just a game wrecker.
If there's a rebound to be grabbed, he's grabbing it, and if he's gonna dunk on you, he's gonna let you know. He's a dog.
Dirty worker.
He's my type of player. I love it.
There you go. Yeah, same with start for them, obviously, and then Ament and Kobe Gillespie against their scrimmage against Duke didn't play well, but at least they got the shots up.
A lot of shots.
Yeah,
a lot of misses.
Is good. A lot of misses though. Unfortunately,
but you want to get them now out of the way rather than in their non-con schedule. But Akpara looked excellent last night. He hit a 3. Yeah, me and you looked at each other. We were in a meeting last night, and we were like, that must have been an accident.
Who does Felix Akpara think he is? I mean,
I don't know, but he looked excellent. Yeah, he was blocking shots. I mean, little sneak peek. He might be my SEC boy. Okay. Just saying. Great rim defender. He only averaged about 8 points last year. If he can get to double digits, that is so huge for the lack of scoring in this offense. So huge because they really only have 2 scorers. Who can be that third guy that can average double digits?
Yeah, 100%.
Cade Phillips looked great. He can battle. He's another dirty worker. He's not gonna score for you. He's gonna set hard illegal screens like he always does, and he's gonna take charges.
But again, it's that lack of 3-point shooting that might hold Tennessee back a little bit, and they are relying on freshmen more, which you just don't know how it's gonna look. Yeah. And like this team, it's gonna be a good team. They're gonna win some games.
We're higher on them than anybody else.
We are higher on them than most, which I think it's a testament to Rick Barnes. In the regular season, guy just wins.
The guy just wins. He won't take you to the Final Four, but he will get you about over 25 wins.
Exactly. So that's kind of our thoughts on Tennessee.
JP Estrella is a name to know.
Guys, JP Estrella, returner, hurt all last year. Yeah, but
former 4-star, he could really be that third guy that average double digits. We'll see how much he's implemented in the offense this year.
Cade Phillips Jr. Gritty player, sort of like Jalen Carey, pretty much. Just lob threat, gonna do whatever it is.
And this team plays in the players era, so we'll see how ready they are after this Duke game.
100%. And so
the team that most people have at number 3 is Alabama.
But
we have at number 4, and we're still. I know you have them at 4, right?
Alabama.
Yeah, we're both number 4. I like them. Same thing. I mean, these SEC coaches are just so good now. Nate Oates, you having a Nate Oates team at number 4?
He's unbelievable. I mean, the Alabama lineup, their backcourt, LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway. I mean, that is up there with Florida for the best backcourt in the country.
Dude, LeBaron Philon helps me sleep at night. I love his game. I mean, full praise to him. I'm super glad he came back this year. He had some draft stock. He had some. I mean, he would have got paid by like a Big 12 school. I mean, we saw PJ Haggerty got paid. He would have got those kind of numbers at Kansas State. But I think he only averaged 10, 3, and 3. He started off the non-con schedule like when they played Purdue. I remember seeing posts like LeBaron Philon is the next number 1 overall pick. Seriously, and he kind of lived in Mark Sears' shadow, which so did everybody when you have those Jalen Brunson ball dominant type guards, and with a less crowded guard play, Aiden Holloway has a ceiling, and his ceiling is 45% shooting from 3, and
which is nuts.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Especially what we saw his freshman year at Auburn when he was about 4.5% from 3. Yeah. But no, this is his backcourt, and Nate Oates' backcourt is a good backcourt, no matter who it is.
No matter who it is. If you can shoot a 3, you can play for Nate Oates. And that's his philosophy, and it works. I mean, he's gotten them. He's probably the best Alabama basketball coach in history. I mean, he's got them to the Final Four. I mean, he's done it all for Alabama. Really turned that program around.
Just think he was a high school coach like maybe 6 years ago.
And turned them into a complete turnaround. Turn their program around. Turn them into an elite basketball program. I mean, getting 5 stars like Brandon Miller they did 2 years ago. Turned them into a top 3 pick. Alabama's turning around. They're no longer just a football school.
I know, and there are a lot of teams that are football and basketball. Kentucky still stays only basketball. I guess
100%.
we can agree.
We thought we had a little bit of football.
No, we can stay with Florida on that. They peaked with Tennessee.
We'll be all right. Yeah, we'll be all right.
But this team is super super deep. They don't have a bunch of studs. But this Alabama. They got Taylor Bowen. I mean, he can really stretch the floor for Nate Oates, and they run that 5-out system where they have the big guy rolling a lot. But the big guy, Aiden Sherrill, not too high on him this year. Sophomore returner. They're gonna miss Cliff Moriyumi from last year, who was a good lob threat. He could really defend the paint. Aiden Sherrill, a lot of question marks. I'm not too high on him. I know Alabama's not too high on him.
That's definitely going to be the weakness of Alabama's team is kind of their front court.
Yeah,
how they're going to gel together with obviously stud backcourt, but if they're not on, who's going to be that guy to step up? Maybe it's a guy off the bench. But,
there's 2 guys off the bench that really catch my eye. Keaton Bristow from Tarleton State. Alabama, they like all the beat reporters down in Tuscaloosa are super super high on him. They said that he could be the guy this year, along with LeBaron Philon. He had 13 off the bench in their scrimmage. Played, I think, 3rd most minutes behind the 2 guards, and then Jalil Bethia. He's a Miami transfer. I think he's a former 4 or 5 star. Super good. He underwent foot surgery last year. He's going to be out for a bit, but once they get him back, he's going to be that wing 3 scorer.
He's going to be back before SEC play, or you think out until?
I think SEC play is probably a good gauge of when he can return.
Okay.
Yeah, so Alabama's going to be good. I mean, no matter who they throw out.
Team. I mean, Nate Oates, he's not going to finish below a 6 seed in the SEC, which you'll take any day of the week because you're an automatic tournament team. If you're in the top 8, you're an automatic tournament team. Yeah. So I think Alabama's going to kind of continue what they've got going. Yeah. Ball's rolling, but kind of a roster turnover. Mark Sears is gone. Chris Youngblood's gone. Diabate to Kentucky. Grant Nelson is a free agent, I think, in the NBA.
It's 4 starters.
That's 4 starters that you lose.
And then Cliff's gone too, so that's 5. Every starter's gone. Well, I mean, I guess Diabate really didn't start last year because LeBaron Philon started the 2. But
the amount of minutes he's playing.
Exactly. He was 20-plus minutes every night. And that schedule, they're in the players there along with Tennessee.
Also brutal.
Yeah. I mean, St. John's, Purdue, Illinois, Gonzaga, all in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, that hurts.
Feast week. They're going to get eaten.
And then you play Clemson, the ACC, SEC challenge. So. And
then Arizona after that.
Tough sledding.
Just like Kentucky, they're gonna be battle tested. They could win. They could lose all 6 of these games and still be just fine by the time SEC rolls around.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of the SEC.
Yeah, but the SEC, they're not gonna lose all 6. They're gonna go 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, and 1, 4, 5, and 2. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see what happens with them. But next we have in-state rival Auburn. Yep. Under a new regime, kinda.
Yeah.
Stephen Pearl.
Yeah. New regime. Yeah, new regime as in we don't know what we're going to get. And then but before that, we knew exactly what we were going to get. We were going to get a Final Four worthy team.
Yeah, exactly. And they have, obviously, biggest probably get in the whole SEC offseason for any team was Todd Fetterford coming back. Biggest win in the offseason, getting him back.
Especially keeping him once, Pearl left.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And, he's probably the most fun player in the SEC to watch. I mean, he's Rob Dillingham 2.0, I like to call him. He's amazing to watch, so fun to watch. All SEC first-team caliber guy, I think. All SEC lock probably for me. I mean, in terms of he might even be sneaky player of the year. Okay. For me. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
I love Todd Pettiford. Super fun to watch.
Your Pettiford's my Philon.
Pretty much, okay. Yeah. I love Todd Pettiford. I think he's
We'll have to see how that plays out.
I think he's could have gone in probably the second round of the NBA. He's got to be a better defender. He's not big enough. He's not NBA size.
Yeah, he struggled in that preseason scrimmage.
Yeah.
Who's that against?
I don't remember who they played, but he did.
I remember watching that game, but he did not play great.
Yeah, he did struggle a little bit, but I think Auburn got a little bit of help around him. I think Kevin Overton, Texas Tech transferred, who averaged about 8 points per game, shot 33% from three, which he kind of wanted to be better at, but plays great defense, which is going to help out Todd Pettiford to kind of take that off his back a little bit. Like, hey, I don't have to guard their perimeter guard. I can kind of float and kind of carry the load on offense. But also, you got Keyshawn Hall, too. UCF transfer, who averaged 19 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game on 42%, and was named all Big 12 second team. He was the 17th best available transfer according to 24/7 Sports. Ooh. He gets to the rim. He's crafty finisher for his size. I think he can be a sneaky, like, all-SEC type guy, carry it over. Yeah. Will take a lot of pressure off Pettiford's shoulders for sure, scoring-wise.
So, by the way, that was Oklahoma State. Couldn't think of it. That's who they lost to, which was not a good start for Stephen Pearl.
Not a good start.
But I overlooked that. Still have the number 5. You have the number 6. But Keyshawn Hall, as soon as he entered the portal, his name was popping up everywhere. I mean, you average 18.8 points in D1 basketball, you're going to be a stud, especially in the Big 12. And 7, 18, 8, and 7. I mean, that's really good. He shot 42%, Big 12 second team, like you just said, and he's going to be super good. He's going to be that filling that 3 role where he can shoot the ball, he can drive the ball. He's going to be a compliment to Todd Pettiford in a beautiful way. Yeah, because that 5-man doesn't look too good. So if Pettiford, if Keyshawn Hall and Jovic could play bigger, that would be a big step in the right direction. This is kind
of where we get into the shadiness of Auburn's lineup is their front court. Keyshawn Murphy at the center, transfer from Mississippi State. He's solid. He's a glue guy, but he's not really a center mold. He's more kind of this lanky wing that can play back to the basket. Yeah. But
if he could play like Dylan Carl did last year, where he would take charges, he would block shots, that would be great. He's not going to be Jani Broom. They're not asking him to be Jani Broom because they have good wings and guards, but that's definitely the question mark for this team.
And definitely, he only started 3 games for Mississippi State, so he's going to a bigger school, bigger role, and starting
bigger paycheck
when he didn't really start for Mississippi State. So kind of it's going to be an adjustment period for him. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a guy off the bench that comes in for him or something like that. Yeah. And they're going to be fooling with lineups, I think, for a while. Yeah. Because obviously they're trying to replace their big 5, which they had of Jani Broom, Denver Jones, CBM, Miles Kelly, Dylan Cardwell are all gone.
All gone.
I mean, that's all senior leadership. That's crazy to lose in 1 year, and your coach. So complete roster overhaul, basically. Yeah. And it's kind of amazing how they kept all their guys pretty much. They kept Todd Pettiford, Keyshawn Hall after Bruce Pearl left. They kept both of them, which was huge for them. And then they kind of have a question mark in Philip Jovic. 6'8", 20-year-old freshman, has all 4 years of eligibility, though, which is pretty nice. Average 12.3.
How does that work?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Some Euro players just
they just whatever. Grants, it is whatever.
Average 12.3 in the ABA league. Same club that Nikola Jokic played on, which is pretty cool. But Euro players, we all know, kind of hit or miss in college basketball.
It's a box of chocolates. They could be really good, or they could be Zvonimir Vucic.
So we'll kind of see how it turns out for Auburn. I'm excited to see him play. Obviously, Pettiford is one of the most fun players to watch, so that automatically is going to be on my TV. Is going to be Auburn, but
this team's
Suns got huge roles to fill. His dad being the best coach in Auburn basketball history.
I think us having them still in the top half of the SEC is really a testament to how good Bruce Pearl was.
Yeah,
because he's kind of blinded us with this Final Four, with how good they were the last couple of years, that we're not even worried about this year.
No, we're not even worried about it. But I think there's a lot of unknown with this.
A lot of unknown, and so they will probably start off shaky. They're also in the players' era, which is good battle. I don't know who they play, but they'll be battle tested.
100%.
And they might lose to start off. Yeah, no big deal. Stephen Pearl, he'll have him fine. Yeah, I think 100%. He'll have him fine. I don't think he's gonna live up to the hype because you've got size 40 shoes to fill, but we'll see.
100%. And then moving into your 6th team, my 5th team, Arkansas, Coach Cal, starting off pre-year season ranked 14. Yeah. It's a lot of freshmen, but again, we already hit on how good this freshman class is. I think they're going to live up to the hype. Darius Acuff, DJ Wagner in the backcourt. It's definitely, all right, here's the ball. I don't know who's going to take the lead spot over between DJ and Darius.
We know who it should be.
I think it should be Darius in a heartbeat. But DJ Wagner is going to want the ball. He needs the ball to be effective. Yeah. So it might limit Darius a little bit. But I think Darius Acuff has the next Calipari guard written all over it.
Yeah, I think we were also giving a little bit too much hate, or maybe just me. DJ Wagner, he really did carry them to the Elite Eight last year.
He did.
He had the ball in his hands at the end of the game versus Texas Tech last year. I watched that game about 3 days ago just to, relive college basketball for a second. 100%. And he was really good throughout the tournament. He can shoot the ball, but it's kind of that Ortega-Owe hitch shot 3 where it's going to be inconsistent no matter how much he practices, no matter how much they tell us it's going to be better. He's a good guard. He's not a great guard for college basketball, and he will play a lot because it's Calipari, and Calipari he has love affairs with certain guards.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think Acuff's going to be the guy, and they're going to have to be forced to give him the ball over DJ Wagner.
100%.
And I mean, Malik Thomas, he could be
forced.
forced.
Could sneak in. Maybe
we saw this between Carter Knox and Blake Richmond last year, where they were fighting for that third position, and they both were really good. Yeah. Different kind of play styles, but they both were really good. And I really could see a world where if DJ goes down, they could get better with Malik Thomas.
Yeah. And speaking of Carter Knox, he's going to slide into that small forward role. Sophomore, going to take probably a major leap this year, I think. He averaged 8, had 20 and 15 in the tournament, though. Former Kentucky commit, followed Cal, obviously. He's a good player, going to fit into that role. It's just we never know with Calipari wings how they're going to play. We just really never know.
Yeah, he could be Chris Livingston, or he could be, Carter Knox. Yeah, I mean, he could be. He's really good. I had written my notes when I was watching film from last year. I said he could be in the SEC Player of the Year conversation. That's high praise.
That is
I don't give that out lightly, but I think this kid's really good. Yeah. He showed it at the end of last year. He can shoot the 3. Man, he was stroking it in the SEC tournament and going into the NCAA tournament. And he's good. I mean, he's Kevin Knox's brother. I mean, they can knock down shots, and he's athletic as all get out. And Cal loves him. He's gonna play a lot this year.
He is for sure. And then filling out the front court role, Trevor Brazile and Nick Pringle. Trevor Brazile is gonna fill that Edu Thiero role perfectly. They're pretty much dang near carbon copies of each other. I think Trevor Brazile is a great player. Yeah. He's shot it well, but
Yeah, he really had a late season revival last year. He
100%.
averaged about 4 points, I think, going into the Kentucky game. Kentucky game was literally just a revival for Arkansas.
Yeah,
Wagner started playing well.
They were like 1-6 or something like that.
Yeah, I was way too confident in that game.
Yeah.
But
we are.
Yeah, and then Brazil ended up averaging, I think, 12 points from the Kentucky game to the end of the season. I mean, that's quite.
But he played great in the tournament too.
He did. He was actually stretching the floor like they need the 4-man to do in college basketball, and he was great. He's going to be fine. He's going to be that lob threat for Acuff. I think he's going to be in ball screens a lot. I could see him playing the 5 like he did sometimes last year when Big Z was hurt. Nick Pringle, you know what you're going to get out of Nick Pringle. Yeah. This is his 3rd SEC team in 3 years, 4th team in 4 years. He was at Wofford before that. Yeah. He was at South Carolina last year, and he kind of got overshadowed by a better Colin Murray Bowles, who was, superior. He's a pro, top 10 pick for a reason. But Nick Pringle, he's just going to be like every other center like they've had. Arkansas's had in the previous years. He's not going to be special. If he can grab rebounds and get out of the way of Brazil.
That's all you need him to do because the guards are going to shoot. Yeah. So that's all you really need.
But this bench is nice.
Yeah.
Malik Thomas, nice. Billy Richmond. Billy Richmond off the bench is a luxury to have. He would start probably in maybe every team but Kentucky and Florida's team above them.
All right, moving into our 7th team here, or your 7th team, Ole Miss.
7th team, Ole Miss. I'm really high on Ole Miss. I like Malik Dia coming back. They got a James Scott from Louisville. He didn't play that much last year. He was a starter, but he was kind of that guy that played 17 minutes and started last year. I think he's going to be a good transfer for Ole Miss. But me having him 7 is not really a testament to the roster. It's more a testament to Chris Beard because I think he is a top 6 coach in the SEC. And if he's at the very high praise. When he was at Texas, and I remember Calipari was struggling, I told my dad, I said I would do anything to replace coaches with Texas right now. When he got fired, and he's going to be great. He's going to be great. Chris Beard is perfect for Ole Miss. He's fiery. He's a good coach. I saw him in person last year versus Southern Miss, and they were up 50, and he was acting like they were down 50, and he was scolding his players. That's what you need. You need a guy who's he can be level-headed, but he can also get after his players. But
never let off the gas.
Yeah. What do you think about AJ Storr?
Well, I hope he can have a better season than last year, to say the least.
Well, if he averages 5, he would.
Yeah. So I think maybe the Kansas thing just didn't work out. He got paid $2 million by Kansas. He's got to get back to his Wisconsin ways. He averaged like 16 points per game for Wisconsin, then went down to like 5. I don't know if it was a confidence thing or he just wasn't playing, but Riley and Griffin was playing over him, which is kind of crazy.
And
so
we'll talk
I don't
about
know.
him later,
I don't know about AJ Storr, but he's a good player, good scorer. He can put the ball on the floor. You know what you're going to get out of him, but hopefully he can kind of live up to what he once was. And then their 6-man Travis Perry, transfer from Kentucky, can't defend but can shoot the rock.
Yeah, he's supposedly been averaging 28 points, or had 28 points in their secret scrimmage this summer, and he's supposedly been the best player that they've had, according to his teammates and Chris Beard, that they've had this offseason, which is, I believe it. I seriously do, because
I don't, but
I believe that they could say that because defense doesn't matter in the offseason.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter in the offseason. If you can put up points, you're gonna play, and
that matters.
And he wouldn't play on this Kentucky team at all.
No, he wouldn't play.
Jasper would fill that role because Jasper could pick up full court.
Yeah.
Travis Perry could, but he would get lost.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about Korben Johnson, Louisville transfer. He didn't play much or at all last year. Played 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Washington before. He's the second Louisville transfer they have on the team. Also with Keza Giffen, High Point transfer. This guy is going to be solid. He could be like the Murray from last year. He averaged 15 2 years. He committed to USC, but I think with Rodney Rice and Baker Mazzara going there, he decided to join Chris Beard at Ole Miss, and I think this is going to be a good get. He was at the High Point team that was really good. They were, I think, a 12 seed last year, and he was a main ball handler and shooter for that team. So I'm a big believer in Ole Miss, but like I said, I believe in Chris Beard.
I'm 50-50 on him. I could see him being as high as like a 6 seed. I could see him being as low as like a 9 seed.
Yeah,
so somewhere in that range, I think we both agree on.
Yeah, and my Ole Miss team is kind of how high I am on them is kind of how high you are in Texas, who we have number 8.
I love Texas. New coach Sean Miller, but projected start lineup. I'm surprised how many guys they retained. Jordan Pope, Trevon Mark are both coming back. That's huge for them. Jordan Pope, returning point guard, averaged 11 last year. Really inconsistent. He'd have games where he would have 5. He'd have games where he would have 26. So you don't really know what you're going to get out of him, but he's a good ball handler, going to be the lead guard. And then Simeon Wilcher out of St. John's last year. Loved his game a lot.
Undersized guard. He could really shoot that rock. I mean, he was the only shooter for St. John's last year, and they heavily relied on him to make shots, and that's the reason why they were 2 seed, is partially because of Simeon Wilcher. He wasn't the best player, but he could really fulfill his role.
Yeah. And then moving into the front court here, Trevon Mark, 6th college year. I mean, didn't have his best season last year.
Yeah.
Needs to get his splits back up from only 40% last year. But we all know Trevon Mark's a good player. He's solid. Like, you know what you're going to kind of get out of him. He's a good player. Can shoot the rock. Former Arkansas player.
I mean, you need vets.
Yeah, you need vets. He is the vet for them.
He's more of a veteran than anybody in college basketball right now.
So Dalen Swain played last year for Coach Miller at Xavier, averaged 11. Played against Texas in the tournament.
Yep.
Probably the biggest addition they had all year.
I'm a big fan of Dylan Swain. I mean, he is an old school. He's going to post you up. He's going to set hard screens, and he's going to get to the dunker spot and drop step on you. He's really nice. I think him and Sean Miller's connection will transfer to the SEC.
Really hope so.
Yeah, Mattis, not even going to try to say that last name, but he's at 7-footer.
7-footer from Fort Atlanta.
Yeah, he played behind Vlad Golden at his time there in the tournament run. He averaged 10 and 5 last season. He's a typical back-to-the-back basket guy, which is not too great considering
the floor, but good pick and roll player.
Yeah,
with Jordan Pope or Simeon.
Yeah, I mean Dalen Swain, he's gonna really have to shoot more threes this year. He could shoot it last year, but not at a super high clip. And you don't need 2 back-to-the-basket guys in 2026 college basketball.
And then off the bench, you still kept Chendall Weaver, who's a decent player, does a little bit of everything. Solid glue guy. Been at Texas for 3 years now.
Yeah, you
can get some decent minutes out of him. You know, he can average 8 points off the bench for you, something like that.
Yeah, my only thing why I had Ole Miss higher is because partially because the coach, I believe in Chris Beard more than Sean Miller. You know, Sean Miller's been fired twice in the last 5 years. But also, Ole Miss has star players like AJ Storr, stars lightly, and Malik Dia. Texas, they lost Trey Johnson, and they didn't really replace him with a superstar. They replaced him with good players. Yeah. And in the SEC play this year, and we saw this last year, you need stars. Trey Johnson was the sole reason, with some of the similar roster, why they got to the tournament last year.
I just think I'm going to go with Texas. I think Sean Miller's kind of going to bring his high-paced style coaching to the SEC. I think it's going to translate well. Hopefully they get adjusted. This is their second year in SEC play. But it's really going to depending on their non-con games versus UConn and Duke. That's tough. I mean, you're going to be battle-tested early. And we'll see kind of how I don't expect them to win, but if they can put up good fights against them, I think that's solid enough for me. And I like Texas.
Yeah, sorry. Sean Miller wasn't fired at Xavier. He just left. He was fired at Arizona. My bad.
No, you're good on that. But, yeah, just left kind of on his own. Went to the bigger SEC school, obviously.
Valid.
Weird because they did play each other in the tournament.
I know. I was just thinking about that, and I remember watching that with you. I think that was one of our dollar bag games. That was fun. That was fun. But, you know, we're going into number 9, Missouri, who I'm not too high on.
I'm not too high on Missouri. Kind of just have a hodgepodge of players, honestly. It's kind of what I see. They didn't really recruit in high school, so they're kind of riding off, can they come back off this hot hand in the tournament?
Yeah.
You know, they were finished as a 6th seed, obviously lost to one of the better mid-majors in one of the mid-majors, Drake. Yeah. With Bennett Sturts, obviously.
Man, I can't wait for that Big Ten podcast. We're going to have Iowa so high.
So lost to them, and kind of hodgepodge of talent. Anthony Robinson and Sebastian Mack in the backcourt. Both are solid players, averaged both about 9 points per game last year. Sebastian Mack transferred from UCLA.
Yeah, I'm super surprised Sebastian Mack left UCLA. I mean, he was so good last year. He didn't play too much, but he was a good guard. And Nick Cronin loves good guards, but I think Donovan Dent coming in,
Donovan Dent kind of, he knew. The writing was on the wall for him to leave.
It was. It was.
The big player for them is going to be Mark Mitchell, obviously. We all know Mark Mitchell's an insane talent. Yeah. Obviously, transferred from Duke. Yep. Didn't really like his role. Came over to Missouri. Had a great season last year. But it's going to be – this is his team. It's going to be, all right, Mark, can you really –
how far can you take us?
Yeah, how far can you take us? Can you – we know you've averaged like 12.5 points-ish per game, but he's got to take a leap as a scorer if he wants to play pro ball too. This is his junior year. He knows, like, all right, team's on my back. Yeah. Can I get us 16 a night and also play good defense? Yeah. So I think this team's going to rely heavily on Mark Mitchell. Yeah. Obviously, all SEC type player if he can improve his splits.
We both have Missouri at 11. We both have 2 teams ahead of them. What do you think about? You have Mississippi State.
I'm Mississippi State
at number 8, right behind Texas. I'm a little bit lower on Mississippi State.
I like Mississippi State
at 10. But yeah, let's talk about Mississippi State. Let's jump in. What do you like so much about this team?
Well, one, you keep Josh Hubbard, who's obviously stud. Everyone knows Josh Hubbard. If you're an SEC fan, you know Josh Hubbard. You know you got a game plan around him. Only stands about 6 foot, but super crafty. A little bit like Todd Pettiford, pretty much. That's what I kind of see him as. But honestly, I mean, he's more efficient than Todd Pettiford. And
he's kind of a Yogi Ferrell type player, smaller guard. He jumps super high on his jump shot. He's so good.
I really like their starting lineup, in my opinion. Jaden Epps, transfer guard from Georgetown, averaged 12.8. Should be next good compliment to Hubbard if he ever needs, a second shot creator. Jaden Epps can do that.
Riley Kugel last year.
Right, exactly. He can do that for you. And then Sean Jones Jr. spent time at all Mississippi State, 3-and-D style wing. That's the one position I'm like, I don't really know, but he needs to show more offensive consistency.
Yeah, talk about Acre, your guy at the floor.
Acre, baby. Transferred big from Sanford. You might remember played Kansas in the tournament. Him and Hunter Dickinson went at it. But, I mean, at Sanford, he averaged 16 and 6, shooting 59% and 42% from 3 at 6'9". He gives you that length. He gives you good defense. You know he's going to be Acre, one of my favorite names in college basketball. Yeah. Hey, he's electric. I love him. I think
he'll be a household name if you're an SEC fan this year.
And I think, him at Kansas State last year didn't really live up to the hype. I understand that. But coming into an SEC school, he's a senior. He knows, like, all right, this is my last year. I'm going to start right away. Chris Jans is going to get him right. Chris Jans hasn't missed a tournament with Mississippi State. I don't know if he's been really like a high seed, but I know he hasn't missed a tournament. He works with what he's got.
Back-to-back 8 seed versus Michigan State the year before, and then 9 seed versus Baylor this year. But they lost both of those. Can they get to the round of 32? That would be their Final Four this year.
And then another guy that I didn't even know who this was. I'm going to be completely honest. Quincy Ballard, 5th-year senior from Wichita State.
Yeah, dude.
7-footer, shot 75% from the field last year, which is nuts.
Yeah, he was a huge part of Wichita State when they went on that late run to make the tournament.
Yeah. Set a school record for dunks in a season. Also snagged 9 rebounds a game and also 2 blocks per game. I mean, that could be sneaky SEC decoy, if anything, written on the wall for Quincy Ballard. Yeah. So I think this Mississippi State team, they're really small up front and then really big down low. So we'll kind of see how that game translates. Yeah. I think Sean Jones, if he can be the 3-and-D style wing that every beat reporter says he is, then hopefully they can kind of live that through.
Yeah, and they had a scrimmage last night. Talk a little about that versus Houston.
So lost in the scrimmage, only scored 52 points. That's what scares me.
But that's Houston for you, though.
But Mississippi State went 7.5 minutes without a field goal.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't see that.
Unbelievable. They went 7.5 minutes without a field goal. And then they pulled it 7 points with about 12 minutes left, and then Houston went on a key 12-4 run, close them out. That's what Houston does. I understand they are probably the best defensive team ever. I mean, Kelvin Sampson's going to do that. He's going to press you. He's going to trap you. He's going to put you in awkward situations similar to.
And they got Milos Uzan back, and Josh Hubbard putting 18 on Uzan is super impressive. This team will be just fine. Yeah. But this team, who you're high and you're not as high as me, this is my sleeper SEC team of the year. Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy boys.
Man, they're led by Mark Byington. I am obsessed with Mark Byington. I love the way he plays. I remember going to Kentucky at Vandy last year, and they were just running sets to death on us. Yeah. They were pressing us full court with Tyler Tanner, who's their 6th man now. I mean, Vandy, they're not the most talented team in the nation, but, man, they're going to get after you. Mark Byington is going to have his guys ready. They're playing WKU in the Bahamas game this year. So that'll be fun. We'll get to watch that for sure.
100%.
And let's just go through the roster. Point guard Frankie Collins, TCU transfer. He's going to be a lead ball handler. He already said he didn't come to Vanderbilt to sit the bench. So that's a pretty telling start that he'll start over Tyler Tanner, the sophomore returner. Yeah, Duke Miles transferred from Oklahoma. He is under the radar. He can really shoot the 3 ball. He's not going to jump off the paper to you. But where this team really gets good is their front court. You know, they got Tyler Nickel, returner. He's an absolute wing sniper. Mm-hmm. We saw it last year. He can pump fake one dribble to you to death, and he's going to be good. That gives that team really good spacing. Devin McLaughlin, really good returner. You know, he's a gritty four-man, average 10 and 8, which is all you need from your four-man in college. He's not glamorous, like I said. He was kind of got overshadowed sometimes with Jalen Carey last year. They kind of started at the 4 and 5 together last year. Mm-hmm. Jalen Washington, UNC transfer, going to start at the 5. Question marks last year, had his ups and downs, mostly 100%. Downs last year, which was why he transferred from UNC. Yeah. Maybe this could be a revival for him to get back into the blue blood conversation. But let's talk about Tyler Tanner.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
Never turns the ball over.
Mm-hmm. He went, 22 games without a turnover?
Something like that. I don't remember fully the stat, but I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over, shoots the 3 well, does the little things right. Yeah. Doesn't need the ball in his hand either. He can kind of create by just cutting to the basket or just getting open off screen.
Yeah, he's going to pick you up full court. He had 20 points off the bench in their first exhibition versus Virginia.
Yeah.
A good Virginia team. Yeah. They beat Virginia in 2 24-minute scrimmages pretty handily. Mm-hmm. Off the bench, they got Mike James. Don't rule him out for being the best player this year. He's a transfer out of Louisville. He really knows how to put it all together. He's physical. He can shoot it. I think he can bring – if he can play kind of smaller with Tyler Nickel, maybe Tyler Nickel move to the 2, and that would really help out Frankie Collins and Duke Miles. This team's good. Mm-hmm. Mark Byington is great.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next Nate Oates, in my opinion. He not as young, but, you know, he's going to have that surgency of Vanderbilt will be in the Sweet 16 this year.
All right, book it. There you go.
Book it.
And now we move on to sort of the lesser half of the SEC teams. Would be shocked if they kind of made the tournament, but
yeah, we can roll through these.
We'll roll through these real quick. Texas A&M, new coach, new team.
Yeah,
we all know Pop Isaacs. So if
this is
a
Moneyball
college basketball
team,
guy, you do know Pop Isaacs. 100%. Transfer from Creighton, 16 and 8 last year.
Yeah, Pop Isaac. I loved watching him at Creighton last year under McDermott. He was electric. He had a bunch of game winners. He only played in 8 games. He averaged 16 in each of those games. He was going to commit to Houston. Fun fact, but Miles Houston last minute stayed, so we had to flip to A&M. Mm-hmm. And Bucky McMillan was like, please, open arms, be our best player, be the lead guard.
And he is. He will be.
Yeah, this team is complete roster turnover, obviously because Buzz Williams left to go to Maryland in shocking fashion. Mm-hmm. Why would you downgrade schools when, I don't know.
And after you built it up.
I mean, what were they, the 4 seed last year? I mean.
I guess he lost all his players and was like, yep, I got to jump ship.
I don't understand. Marcus Hill, transfer from NC State. He's a terrible, not to hate on him, but terrible perimeter shooter.
Yeah.
He was in the low 20s for 3-point for shooting last year, but that's why Pop Isaac is there.
And
talk about in the backcourt. Yeah, and Ryland Griffin, they could both shoot. He's surrounded by shooters. Ryland Griffin can also defend. I mean, that's 2 good defenders in the backcourt right there. This team's going to be interesting. They got Mackenzie Mbacco from Indiana. He averaged 12.2, exactly those numbers at his 2 years in Indiana.
Wow. Okay.
It's not bad. You know, I wanted to Kentucky as a sophomore year last year to be that 4-man, but we filled that role. It seems like A&M filled that role. They got Federico, the backup big from Texas Tech. And if you remember in the tournament, he was a rebounding machine. He was getting those offensive rebounds. He was eating Arkansas's lunch and dinner the whole time. And he was a big reason they won that game. Yep. But this team has super roster turnover, coach turnover.
Yeah,
Bucky McMillan's never coached.
I would say program turnover.
Exactly. Give me your thoughts on Bucky McMillan. He's never coached an SEC game before. How do you think this is going to turn out?
We'll see. I mean, obviously, when you play every single game, it's going to be quad 1 for him. You're going to be battle tested. So I'm curious to see. I haven't looked at their out of conference schedule, so I want to see if they're really battle tested before they go into SEC play. I'd love to see how his style will translate. But obviously, when you have a whole new roster, I mean, they could fool with rotations. Yeah. They could kind of do anything they want. Yeah, so it's just going to be a fresh start for them, and I'm kind of curious to see what he'll do in recruiting with the Texas A&M brand.
Yeah.
If he'll kind of build his own class. So this year, I would say for Texas A&M, it's going to kind of be trial and error run for them. Like, hey, we got players, like we got some good names, but we don't really know where we're at.
Yeah.
Give us 2 or 3 years, and that's where you'll really see where Texas A&M is at.
Yeah. Are you more confident in Bucky McMillan, given what they have, or Stephen Pearl?
I would be more confident in Stephen Pearl.
Okay.
Just off pure talent, kind of what they have, and kind of Stephen Pearl knows the standard. He's been on the Auburn sideline, obviously, basically his whole life.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I can see this.
Be more confident in Auburn.
I can see this being a get-right year for Bucky McMillan. I think he can really coach. He runs that fast-paced style where they will shoot threes and transition, even if they got a guy under the rim.
Yeah.
But the guy we haven't talked about, Jakari Lane, UNA transfer, averaged 17 a game. Fun fact, I was at the UNA Lipscomb ASUN championship game last year, randomly.
Yeah.
And he was so good. The back's against the wall. When they needed buckets, they only scored like 50-some points that game, but he had about 22. Yeah. And he shot 40% from three last year. I think if Marcus Hill has a down year, obviously he was not going to be able to shoot the ball. Jakari Lane could be the breakout player.
Yeah. And we'll move on. We both have Oklahoma here. Porter Moser coaching. Oklahoma's kind of got a roster turnover as well. Yeah. Xavier Brown, St. Joe's transfer, did have great numbers, averaged about 18 points per game, 4.3 assists as a lead sophomore guard. So he's got 2 more years of eligibility left. Hopefully he can stay at Oklahoma and kind of fill those shoes of Jeremiah Fears, which is basically going to be impossible to do. But next to him, he's got Nigel Pack, who transferred from a god-awful Miami team last year. But
hey, coach quit.
Yeah, I mean, the whole roster quit.
Shout out Jim Larinaga.
Roster quit. Coach quit. Everything was just
I quit. I didn't watch them. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I quit on them too.
The more I look at this team, I'm like, man, they got some players. Porter Moser, he saved his job last year.
Nigel Pack for sure. Career 40% three-point shooter. Averaged 14 last year. We'll see if he can kind of also fill the role of Jeremiah Fears. So he's got 2 guards to hit. He's like, hey, I can rely on these 2. I'm replacing Jeremiah Fears, but hey, I got 2 guys. And then Darren Reed also might be OU's biggest get. Former 5-star, spent last year at Alabama. Didn't really play much, but he's 6'8", didn't emerge as a standout freshman, but he could end up being the best player for Oklahoma this year.
Yeah. Tay Davis averaged. He was not the best player. Obviously, Burton was the best player in Notre Dame last year, but he was good. He averaged 15 on a bad team. Yeah. Tested the draft waters, but ultimately decided to come to Porter Moser-led Oklahoma team. He could be the best player, like you said, Darren Reed. Like, they have guys. We just have to see how they mold together. Guys.
And this is where we kind of move in. The front court depth in players is a real issue, and it could be all season long, as their center, Muhammad Wage, could crack the starting lineup for his 5th college basketball season, but only averaged 3-3 last year.
Yeah, Oklahoma never has a good 5-man.
I mean, we'll just kind of see how that works. But they got a nice couple players out of the portal. Hope they can mix well. Didn't really get any freshmen, but that's all right.
Xavier Brown is going to need to carry Porter Moser like Jeremiah Fears did last year.
Yeah, pretty much. So you're banking on that. They got 2 out-of-conference games that are pretty tough, Gonzaga and Marquette. Yeah. So a little battle-tested, and then obviously in the SEC.
Putting them at 13 isn't really sounds like we're hating on them, but this conference is just so good. We don't have another place for them. You know what I mean? Like, this team is not bad. Yeah. In the ACC, there's probably a top 4 team. Yeah.
But in the SEC, you're sitting at the 12th seed. Sorry, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Moving on. Georgia, Mike White, good coach.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the only really guys to talk about here, they lost Wilkerson. They lost their guard.
Asa Newell.
Asa Newell, and they lost the guard to UConn, I mean. Yep. Can't remember his name to save my life right now, but Blue Kane returned, Santos Cyril returned. That's really.
I think Santos Cyril has the most potential on this team. Yep. He's a huge lob threat, great shot blocker. Hopefully, he can stretch the floor a little bit. Obviously, hasn't really shown that, but hopefully, former Cal commit. Obviously, top 30, I think, ish in his class.
Yeah, he can. He's
good.
Really
block shots. They got 2 top-ranked 70 freshmen, Jacob Wilkins and Kareem Stagg, who both 6'8" wings. Could see big minutes for them. Yeah. Guy that I'm really curious is Jeremiah Wilkerson. Averaged 15 as a freshman last year for Cal. Yep. 3-level scorer, but his shooting splits were really bad. So we'll kind of see how he can kind of improve. They're going to be leaning on him a lot, though. He's kind of going to be their go-to guy. They have Jordan Ross, who's a great point guard. Kind of reminds me of like a Tyus Jones type guard. Yep. His assist-to-turnover ratio is 3.33. Wow, so that's really great for a guard and kind of like this standalone. Hey, I'll be the point guard. I'll give you the ball where you want it. But, they don't really have that guy. So if Jeremiah Wilkerson can kind of be that guy, then that's what they need.
This team is super good as a 14 team. Like we said, we're going to end up saying this so much.
Top 5 team in the ACC.
We didn't even talk about Cannon Catchings, who was a huge part of BYU's run last year. And the guy I was talking about was Silas DeMary. How are they going to replace? Can Jordan Ross replace Silas DeMary last year, who's at UConn now? But this team's super good. Not even hating on him. I just think Mike White, he does more with less. So I wouldn't be surprised if – they snuck into the tournament last year at the 9th seed.
Exactly.
We'll just have to see.
They were projected like 13th or 14th.
Yeah, they don't have a guy like Asa Newell to bail them out.
No, they don't have that top-end freshman. Like, they don't have the Santo recruit, even though he's on their team now. Asa Newell, Ant Edwards, they don't have that go-to freshman guy that they usually do. But I think, they did fine in the portal. I think they got some guys. Portal will be decent. It's just in the SEC, it's going to be tough sledding. Yeah,
I was super impressed going through the roster about how they went about the portal. I'm super impressed, and I think that they could shock teams, but for right now, they're at the lower end of the total poll.
And we move into our last 2 teams here. South Carolina, Michi Johnson returns after his
Let's talk about that, dude. Yeah. That is ridiculous. He goes from Ohio State to South Carolina.
He goes,
and then back to Ohio State.
Yep.
And then back to South Carolina. He left the team last year. Not to bury the guy, but I just curious what's going on here. He left the team with mental health issues.
Yep.
But he's also changing schools every year. Yep. I don't know. He's a good player.
He's a good player, though. Solid player.
Obviously, he carried them to the 6th seed 2 years ago.
He did have his best year at South Carolina, which is encouraging for South Carolina, I think. Lamont Paris is a good coach. I think he's just kind of working with what he's got, and he doesn't have a lot. Miles Studi's returning, former Vanderbilt transfer. Pretty good shooter. Doesn't really do that much. Doesn't really move the needle anywhere. Off the bench, they got Eli Ellis, freshman.
Who went OTE. Off in a scrimmage yesterday.
Really?
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Undersized shooter. Can kind of stretch the floor for them. But, I don't know how much he's going to play. But, hey, if he went off in a scrimmage, shoot. I really hope he does.
Yeah, Eli Ellis has been counted out his whole life. So I think if we count him out here, he probably will prove us wrong.
Yeah. But this team overall, it's not going to be great. Now with Colin Murray Boyle's gone.
Yeah, you're losing your guy. You're losing Nick Pringle.
We're looking at, I think, 14th in the SEC is probably their ceiling. They don't really have that much talent. I just think they're my last team.
Yeah, if there's got to be a team that's last, it's going to be either them or LSU, and it's not really close. I mean, Dayton Thomas is coming back. Or not coming back, but he's from UNLV.
I like Dayton Thomas a lot. He's fun.
He's in the Kentucky conversations for a long time. Averaged 15 and a half. He's going to be who, Matt Mahahan really runs his offense through, and we'll see, how he can carry the load. LSU has been really good this year. And talk to me, do you think head coach, do you think he's out after this year if they finish lower than 13 this year?
Well, considering that it looks like LSU has a quick trigger to fire their coaches as of recently with Brian Kelly, I would say this is definitely, if they finish last, I could see it being a way out. If we finish last back-to-back years, man.
If they finish under 3 SEC wins, he's out.
I would agree with that. Yeah. So kind of hit on it already, but we'll go through our full SEC ranks and our end of the year Player of the Year awards. Yeah. So which includes Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, Freshman of the Year, Depoy, and a little fun thing, little dark horse player that we think
Yeah, just throwing a dart.
A name you might not know that we love, and a guy that we're going to be super high on. So go ahead and start off with your 1, 2, 3 in the SEC.
1, 2, 3. Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee.
Disagreement off the bat. Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah,
but Tennessee. Yeah. Can't really go wrong putting Florida, Kentucky 1. Yeah. I understand totally. I'm a Kentucky fan, so I want to put Kentucky 1, but
definitely biased on my side.
I'm gonna give respect to the national champions. I'm gonna give respect to the national championships.
Okay. Yeah.
We both have Tennessee 3. We're both pretty high on them.
Yeah.
And then both have Alabama 4, correct?
Yep.
Alabama 4. I have Arkansas 5.
I have Auburn 5, Arkansas 6. So our top 6 has different teams in it.
Different rankings.
But same teams.
Same teams. Yeah. I like Arkansas a lot. I just think the freshmen are gonna be really nice, and I think Auburn's a little bit of uncertainty. Yeah. So we'll kind of see.
Cal's just got to prove it to me. He's got to prove me that he can win and have a normal season, as he hasn't had a normal season since Telehero.
Right. Exactly. So this is where we kind of disagree a little bit. I got Texas at 7.
Give me Ole Miss and Chris Beard at 7.
All right. Fair enough. I like Texas' roster. I think they got some vets. I think they kind of retained some of their players, so they're kind of like, hey, we know what the standard is here at Texas. We're going to try and go back to the tournament. We obviously don't want to lose to our coach that we lost to in the tournament. So
there you go.
Hopefully they can come back. I think Sean Miller is going to add his pace to this offense and get the most potential out of him.
Yeah, Chris Beard, he's going to really feel that fire off that Sweet 16 run and just carry it in this season.
That's fair.
At 8, I have my underrated team of the year, SEC or Sweet 16 lock, Vanderbilt Commodores.
All right, yeah. I have Mississippi State here. I like Mississippi State a lot. I would consider them kind of my sleeper, but, I wouldn't say they're much of a sleeper at this point. They made the tournament every year. Everyone knows who they are. Yeah. Everyone knows who they are. I got Mississippi State here. Yeah. 9, I got Ole Miss.
Give me Texas.
Fair enough. I got Vanderbilt at 10, which I know is a little low.
It's okay.
I want to be high on Vanderbilt.
I'm the one that's high. You're the one that's normal.
I'm a Nashville native. I love Vanderbilt. I love going to their games. I love watching them play. I love Tyler Tanner. He's an absolute dog, and I love their roster, but I'm just looking at the SEC, how it stacks up. Yeah, then running out our SEC rankings, we'll go 11 through 16 real quick. I got Missouri, A&M, Oklahoma, Georgia, LSU, South Carolina.
Yeah, the same thing. I could really see 6 through Arkansas through Oklahoma could really be any order.
Yeah, for sure. I think Oklahoma's a little underrated. Maybe we gave their roster not enough praise, but I could see same thing for you. SEC's random. There's always going to be those teams that are just come out of nowhere. Like last year, Missouri, who wasn't projected to go high at all. Yeah. They beat Kansas at home. That's just going to happen sometimes. It's going to be random. Georgia last year obviously made a 9 seed. That happened.
There's going to be random stuff that happens, and it's possible for us to really predict, but this is what we've kind of gauged so far through film and predictions.
100%, yeah. And now we'll move into the exciting part, our final awards, Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go easy route here. Todd Golden, Florida.
Yeah, you got to choose your number 1 team.
It just seems like
the best teams, the best coaches,
best record in the SEC will get Coach of the Year probably. Todd Golden, Florida. I can't go back on that. They're my number one team for a reason. Give me Todd Golden, Florida. Moving into our player of the year here, who do you have as your SEC player of the year?
Yeah, best player on the best team with the best coach. Give me a takeaway.
All right, yeah.
Who do you got?
Kentucky route here.
Yeah, Kentucky, whole thing Kentucky, just like me.
Or take Oweh, obviously great player. We all know who he is. My player of the year is also going to be a household name. Give me Todd Pettiford out of Auburn, baby.
Wow, you really did it.
Fun to watch. Okay. I love watching him play. Everything about him. He's a special player. Give me Todd Pettiford for Auburn.
Yeah, LeBaron Philon was a legitimate conversation for me, but those are the only two I had.
Gotcha.
Newcomer of the year? Yep. Say yours first, and then I'll go.
Moving into our newcomer of the year, I will go with Jacoby Gillespie out of Tennessee. We already hit on him. Obviously, he's a great player, Tennessee native, going to be the scoring guard for Tennessee, which Rick Barnes hasn't had in years.
Everything you just said, I agree with. Give me Jacoby Gillespie. Same thing.
Newcomer of the year. All right, Depoy. I got Alex Condon out of Florida. I think they're going to be probably one of the best defensive teams in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Give me the anchor of that defense. Even at the 4, I think he's still going to anchor that defense. Really versatile, can kind of guard not one, but can kind of guard 2 through 5, I would say. Yeah,
I actually went with Felix Okpara. I think that Tennessee is going to be super stout on defense, and Ziegler won it last year. I think Okpara can win it this year. Owners that didn't pick Condon, I think he could get lost in the sauce with Hangladen and Chinyelu, and it could really be hard to tell who the really best defender on that team is.
100%, yeah. And for freshman of the year, I got Darius Acuff out of Arkansas. He is going to be the next Calipari guard. I am calling it.
Wow.
I think DJ Wagner's not going to be the lead guard for too much longer. The DJ Wagner experiment is about to be over, I think, even though I like DJ Wagner a little bit. But I really like Darius Acuff. I think he's a really nice player. His game is going to translate into the Calipari offense. Give me Darius Acuff.
Yeah, as much as I want to choose Jasper Johnson and round out 4 SEC awards for Kentucky, I'm going with Nate Ament. I think he's going to have too much of a big role on a good team to not be a star, and I don't think he's as good as the top 5 in front of him for freshman-wise, but those are on other conferences. Give me Nate Ament.
Yeah. And then kind of our fun little award here, we got Dark Horse of the Year, kind of a player that you guys might not know that you guys just want some knowledge on. Yeah. Give me Acker out of Mississippi State, baby. Him from Sanford, coming over from Sanford. I think he averaged 16 and 6 for Sanford. He gives versatility everywhere. He's averaged 16 and 6, shot 42% from 3. He's 6'9". Yeah. Gives Chris Jans that secondary score next to Josh Hubbard. I think he's a really good player.
I love the way you pronounce his name. That might be our new niche name to call him.
Aker, baby.
Come on now. My dark horse of the year, I love your guy, Aker. But give me Jakari Lane. I already hit on him last year. The UNA transfer, I think he really was going to start for Texas A&M. I think he has a good shot to compete for that shooting guard role. I think Marcus Hill is not great. Mm-hmm. And also, along with Jakari Lane, who's going to probably average over 13, 14 a game this year. That's how of a microwave scorer he is, seriously. Mm-hmm. He's going to give Pop Isaac a run for that lead guard, in my opinion. Give me Tyler Tanner. Yeah. I mean, I'm super high on Vandy, so why not be super high on one of their best guards? I think he has 100%. A good chance to start over Frankie Collins this year, transfer to TCU. But Tyler Tanner, I mean, I played him in high school. I mean, some guys just have a different level, and he's just a different level. And I think he showed out last year as a freshman. In this kind of era of college basketball, freshmen don't shine. And he did that last year. And what I've seen this year in the offseason, he's really improved his shot. He's kind of changed that hitch out of it, and that's what he needs. And he's going to be a household name this year for sure.
Yeah. That will conclude the SEC, the best conference. It's going to be a fun year. Yeah. It's going to be a fun year.
Last question. Over under 10.5 teams in the tournament. They had a record year
based on
last
my
year.
Rankings.
Did I say 11.5 or 10.5?
10.5. So, I'm going to go with the under, actually. I'm going to go exactly 10. I'm going to go my top 10. Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Bama, Arkansas, Auburn, Texas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Vandy make the tournament.
So you're leaving out Missouri
A&M, and Oklahoma.
This is at 9.5. 10's a good number. Mm-hmm. You said the under.
So you say
I don't bet unders. I'm an over guy. Give me the over.
Give you the over. So you think Oklahoma's going to sneak in? Who's going to be that last team? Who's sneaking in? Who's going to be that bubble team that sneaks in?
Bucky McMillan makes a name for himself and gets himself a big contract this year.
All right, so A&M makes a tourney, puts you at the over, and that concludes our SEC episode, boys.
First
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Press on Sports, baby. We're getting the ball rolling. We're excited for college basketball season. 1 week away.
1 week, baby. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Excited. Thank you, boys.